Hi, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about product characteristics within a market. So during this video series we've looked at what is a market, how big the market is, we've looked at sub-markets, we looked at the characteristics of sub-markets in terms of pricing and sales and ratings and reviews to analyse. I'll help you analyse if you're looking at launching a product or you've got a product on the market, where does it fit in terms of the market and sales. So today I want to go down one level further and look at product characteristics, and I've picked gluten-free pasta just almost at random. I chose food because it comes in packs and it comes in sizes of packs, which makes comparison a little bit easier because you can then boil it down to a unit and then directly compare units. So the first thing I did was I ran my usual data dive on this. Now you can obviously use Jungle Scout, Zontools, Helium 10, whatever, and get some information about the size of the market. It told me that the market was about 120. It's got a few sellers in there that aren't particularly relevant. And so I downloaded that product list and I came up with this list here. Now the first thing I did was I got rid of some non-relevant sellers, and we've got the market at around about 100,000 a month. So that's the size of the market. There's obviously a lot of sellers. Now the first thing that I'll draw your attention to is market share, and that's pretty important when you're looking, because you can see that these four sellers here have got 49% of the market. So half the market is dominated by two sellers. They've each got two products. And then the next 14%, so everyone else is just fighting necessarily over the scraps of, lower down here, that, they've got virtually no market share whatsoever. So it's something to bear in mind is that there isn't always an even spread of market share. So if you're going to come in and want a significant chunk, then you're going to need to think about, well, how am I going to compete with these at the top end of the market? Is it achievable? What do I need? What does my product need to look like in order to achieve that? And then secondly, what do I need to do in terms of advertising is a video for another day. So the first thing I did after looking at market size is I then analysed the number of packs in the product. So this is a 3-pack, a 6-pack, a 6-pack, and a 3-pack. You'll see that's here, and then the number of units in terms of grams per pack. So this is a 200 gram. This is a 200 gram. This is, I had to look up some of them, but these are the pack sizes. So that's the total weight of the product, ASIN, if you like. And then simple calculation to say, right, well, the total weight, what's the price? So it's £1.18 per 100 grams. I did it in 100 grams so that it's a little bit easier to see. So you can see that there's some very distinct differences about the market, which I'm just going to go into now. So firstly, if you want to sell well, then you need to be thinking about higher pack sizes and smaller pack sizes in terms of the size per pack, if that kind of makes sense. So you want to be doing 250 gram packs, but do them in packs of 6 rather than one pack of 400, because the market's telling you that those that are selling big, and there is a very clear trend, 4.5, 2.7, 2.2, 1.6, a very clear trend that the bigger number of packs in your product, the better you sell. The pack sizes, again, sort of, if you just take these three here, you can see that the smaller pack sizes on average, there's not a big difference between these at the bottom, and then the cost per unit is obviously a big difference. There is on the weight per 100 grams, and you can see that 136, 106, 127. So this is probably a little bit out, but you can see that the cost per unit varies around a little bit. But if you was just to take this, and this, you can see that it's cheaper as you get more expensive, although this tends to kind of disprove that slightly. Here's probably the next big distinctive thing that I would be passing on to a client or someone asked me is you need to be charging more for your product. So if you want to sell well, larger number of pack sizes, smaller packs in terms of grams, more price, so bigger bundles effectively will lead to better revenue. Ratings doesn't really make a great deal of difference. Reviews, obviously fairly typical. The larger number of reviews gets the better sales, but there's nothing really out, the ratings and number of days. In fact, you can see that, those that are selling well are actually being on the market for less than those that have been selling. Not a great deal of difference, but they're all fairly well established brands. There's a few new players here, 150, but they're all sort of multiple thousands, multiple years. So it's quite a mature market. So again, if I was writing a review of this market for someone that had asked me, I'd say it was a mature market. Here's, the typical characteristics of the products that do well in terms of, the size of the pack, the number in the bundle, the cost price averages, the fact that it's dominated by two sellers. If you want to sell, then this is the kind of product characteristic that you need to consider launching. And then maybe you need to have a strategy to get reviews in order to compete longer term, and the quality of the market is quite high. If you consider 4.3, 4.6 is generally quite a high rating. I know there's one here at 3.9, but generally, there's some good stuff here in terms of quality. Quality leads to longevity in this market. Doesn't necessarily lead to sales in the short term, but longer term, brands that have better quality products tend to stay around. So overall, we can see that there are different characteristics. So I urge private label sellers, before you come to market, or if you've just launched and you're looking at ways to improve it, to analyze the market in this way: market size, sub-markets, characteristics of successful products, and then you can say, my product actually, where does it fit in at the moment? Right, at the moment it fits in this category, for example. Therefore, I think I might struggle because I'm going to be here in typically this. I need to change the packs, improve the bundle, increase the price, whatever it is, to compete with the top sellers at the top here. I hope that helps. In the next video, what we're going to be doing is drawing it all together and looking at how we can actually go about growing our market share. Now that we understand what our share is and where we fit, then we can look at what are the techniques we can use to improve the market share in general terms, and how we go about that. I hope that helps, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.